Okay. I'm going to see if it gives me a notification.
It's spinning. And I'm live.
You are live.
Okay.
Go for it, brother.
Thanks, Sean. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Hi, everybody. Greg D'Amico here. And after a few minutes of technical difficulties, I was on the phone with Sean. And it looks like my Chrome browser was not updated. So I am just not one of those days where a lot of things aren't working right. My printer doesn't have ink and so on. So as the life of a business owner, we are always running into our challenges, right? But anyway, okay, good to be with you guys. Ayo, here we go. Excited to be back and to share some things with you all. One of the things that I wanted to do was talk a little bit about something that, like, every now and then I want to jump into a thing that I feel I can give you guys a lot more value on. And one of the things about that is a lot of my history of how have run my businesses and different things I've done that has created been a big benefit for me. So I'm going to get into questions in a second, but I'm going to pick a topic each time. I'm going to share one. This topic this time is BHAG, big, hairy, audacious goal. Okay, it comes from terminology with Jim Collins, Good to Great. I've talked about it in previous sessions. To me, that book is the Bible for business. It gives a framework of how business should be run, and it's not done by one person's opinion. It's done by looking at success of companies relative to a peer group, and it has tracked performance. Like when you had two companies that went over time parallel like this, say over a 15-year period, and then over another 15-year period, one company went like this, the other company stayed flatter, the S&P 500 or the market stayed the same, stayed about same with the other company, but the one company took off. And a couple of those companies were something like Walgreens and Eckerd drugstores, if you remember them. They, over a period of the 70s and so, they stayed flat, but then there was a period in the 80s where Walgreens became like this monster growth stock. It did better than Intel. It was like one of the number one performers over a 15, 20-year period of time. It beat out Microsoft, Intel, and a lot of other companies. So anyway, the research that they came out with relative to this was to determine what these more successful companies did to their peer group, and provided this intel over the course of a lot of different things. And one of the things was creating a BHAG. They found that the successful companies had a BHAG, big, hairy, audacious goal. So what does that mean for you having a BHAG? A BHAG allows for you to create an idea of simplicity with where you want to go. It takes a lot of complex aspects of your business and boils it down to one thing. So what would be a good example of a BHAG? In the early 60s, John F. Kennedy said that by the end of this decade, we are going to put a man on the moon. Okay? Very simple, very concise, and clear to everybody. Okay? You know what that means. You know where you're going. And what does that do? It aligns all your resources working towards getting to that goal. It's a huge revelation when you have a good, right BHAG for your business, and all your people can feel the excitement and energy and passions around that BHAG. They all start working together. Instead of somebody working this way and somebody working that way and pushing against each other, you got people spun around, and you got them working, and you got them spinning on or pushing on the flywheel to make the flywheel spin. That's another terminology we'll talk about later. But if you get everybody lined up, pushing together in the same way and getting that flywheel to start cranking out one turn and then another turn, you can develop some momentum and some action with your business so that you are all pushing towards this bigger goal and making exciting things happen. Another example of a BHAG was General Electric had their BHAG to be 1 or 2 in all respective markets. If they were not, they would get out of the business. Okay? That compared to Westinghouse, which had stuff like strategically aligned, creating focus within our space, and a bunch of other words that just really come out didn't mean anything. But saying that you're going to be either 1 or 2 in your respective market, or you are out of the business, creates an environment of how you push the business to get somewhere. So think about BHAG for your business, and that big, hairy, audacious goal is usually a 15 to 20-year time horizon. It could be 25, can be 30, but it's out there. It's a goal that's set that you know it's big, it's audacious, it's something that, like, how do we get to it? You don't figure that out in the moment, but you create that goal, and then you start taking steps. You start taking steps and working now from, okay, what am I going to do the next 3 to 5 years that will get us towards our BHAG? What am I going to do the next year that's going to get us towards our BHAG? What am I going to do the next quarter to get us to a BHAG? And then back to you, what am I doing this week that's going to get us to the quarter, that's going to get us to the year, that's going to get us to the 3 to 5, which works out to getting towards the BHAG. Okay, you don't have to plan all the details of how to get to the BHAG. You just got to get the BHAG in place, and then you start unfolding your steps, one step at a time. Okay, put one foot in front of the other, and you start in that direction. But the thing about the BHAG is that you know what direction you're lined up to. Okay, you're not going over here because the BHAG's here. So you want to spin, and you want to get everybody pointing in the same direction to get to that BHAG. It's a revelation when you have a good one and you put it and everybody knows what it is. Everybody talks about it. Everybody says you can pick out the things that you're not doing that are going to get you to your BHAG and stay away from them. Okay, hey, does this align with our BHAG where we're going? No, then we get away from it. Okay? Remember, Warren Buffett said that he spends more time saying no than he does saying yes. So remember to not getting into things and doing things that are not going to take you in the direction you want to go is key and very important. So anyway, okay. So as I said, my printer was not working, and so I'm going to have to read the questions off my phone. So let's see here. Okay. First question by Deanna Markel. Hi, Deanna. So your question is, I have a very busy laser spa. Well, very good that it's very busy. Even these troubling times, it's good to hear. We have many forms for people to fill out before they have their first appointment. We need a medical history form and consents normally before they get treated. Do you have any recommendations of any program softwares where we can send it to them? They can fill it out and on their phone or computer, and it automatically gets sent back to us. It would be such a time saver for us to have it filled out beforehand. Then we can have a chat ready to go when they come in. So really good question, Deanna. These are the kind of things that I help companies with, I build with. So thanks for your question because it's relevant to exactly what I do. And given what you're talking about, you can do a customized type of form thing. I think that would probably be too much. I mean, it'd be somewhat expensive and not what you're looking for. So real simple answer to your question is to use Google Forms. Okay, Google Forms allows you to create these forms and allows you to do it simplicity. It's in a trusted environment like Google and allows people, you can allocate the appropriate fields and so forth. And it's going to create the ability for you to set it up in the way you want to set up, put in the information you want, and then they can send it back to you. So I would look at that. I would make that happen and see if that works for you. You can also see about your systems that you currently use. If there's maybe a piece of, there could be sometimes open source software out there that can do this too. You can find some open source software that could be modified, customized just a little bit for minimal cost and get something like this done. So there's a couple different easy steps. The first step to take is the Google Forms, and then you can look at it from there. Okay? So if you have any questions, feel free to email me, and I can provide any more information that could be helpful. Next question. Heather Brockman. Hi, Heather. And your question is, I paired with a dog walking company and I'm looking for advice on how to draw up a legal contract so I can ensure I get paid for the clients I will be sending his way and protect me in the event I need to stop using him. Totally new avenue for me, and I want to cover all my bases. Okay, let me make sure I read that right. A dog walking company and looking for advice on how to draw up a legal contract. Okay, so, well, first of all, I am not an attorney, so I can't give legal advice, but what you do have in AO is Tab Burkharter is a newer mentor in the group, and he is a CPA and a tax and an attorney, and he can talk to you about this respective issue. So I would make sure when his next session comes up that you ask him this question for more details. I agree, it's a good idea on having a contract. I would not hesitate at all to put some money and effort into that. So let me say something about this, guys, that is very important in the sense that I have been very cheap when it comes to not doing agreements. I've always, had this pet peeve about attorneys and irritated by them and the money they charge. And I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars with attorneys over the years, especially in my investment firm when I had to have all this compliance and so forth. So I know what it is. I know I've seen the big bills from the attorneys. But to have basic contracts and simple things in place is very, very important. I've run into situations where I have been burnt. So you want to try to protect that and minimize these aspects going forward, and definitely having one in place. I can give you one example. I had a partner in my software company, the Indian guy that was in the U.S. with me. We went to India. We set up the office over there. He was going to be a partner in the company, but when we set up the office over there in India, it was 100% his name to get started, and then we were going to transfer it over. Well, I didn't get it transferred in time. I didn't get it transferred right away when we reset up the company and so on and so forth. And because of that, this guy ended up trying to steal the company from me. And he did not have the following of the team there. I did, and it was thankfully for that is that because the company was in his name, all the money I spent, $30,000 of equipment, air conditioners, generators, computers, and so forth, I lost because I didn't have the legal setup of having it in place correctly on a timely basis that allowed for him to not steal the company from me, try to steal the company from me. The whole team walked out, we set up a new office, and we started over again. But these things happen. Somebody that I thought was loyal and involved and going forward just completely turned, and you never know what's going to happen. So anyway, let's see. Next question. Please get advice, and tab could be a good starting point for you. Okay, Aaron Sheeks. Hi, Aaron. Aaron asks, need advice. We have a sellable software tool that has current revenue coming in. While we're slowly making development updates, we're not building as fast as we can sell the product, and we are waiting for updates to tie together a few data sources. Question, do we continue to wait and scale responsibly, knowing that $50,000 a month is coming in August and September, or while the market is still coming back from COVID shutdowns, or do we spend the development and integration costs now to have the product closer to finish by August, September? Also, a redesign is part of the upgrade. Thanks for your feedback. Okay, well, Aaron, it sounds like you're in a really good situation. You got good revenue coming in on a software product. If that's the case, you're going to have a lot of profitability with that. So if I'm in your shoes and I'm looking at that from the experiences that I've had, I would be getting these updates done now. And if you have to borrow, like you said, you got 50,000 coming in. The real key question here is, what's the assurance of that? Is that an assumption, a projection, or you have a contract for that, or you are on target already with your growth to get to that level? So need some context in those questions. But when I have context with that, I would say if you have the assurance that that money's coming in and it's growing at that level and going to be at that point, then I would what I would do is I would start getting the development work done, because development work can always have some hitches and bugs and time to get work through. So getting that started as soon as possible and making that happen is going to be getting you ready for that money, and knowing that when you do have that money coming in, or the growth of where if you're on a trajectory to that money, the scalability is in place for your software to be able to meet those levels. A lot of times we build software and it can hold a certain level, but when it gets to a new level of, from 1,000 users to 10,000 users to 100,000 users, it's a whole different environment. You have to do a lot of additional work to get that software ready. Put in new servers, redo the code. So there's a lot of things to consider, and making sure that you're ready for that level of business is something I would be investing in right now. The other important thing to say about this is the redesign. When you say redesign, why? What is it? What needs to be? You just want a fresher look. You want it to be prettier. What is it you want? Because most important about the design of your software and the usability of your software is the most important thing. Okay. Think about this like think about software in the form of electricity. Okay, you have a plug in the wall, and all you want to know is that when you plug it in, the wall can look pretty, the little socket can look pretty, it can look good. But all you want to know is when you plug it in, it's simple. You know where to go. You know what to do. You plug it in, and it works. You don't care about where that line goes to down the street, to what power station, to then what power source that it comes from, whether it's hydrogen, whether it's nuclear energy, whether it's a coal fire energy. You don't care about any of that. As in software, you don't care if it works. I mean, you don't care how it works. You don't care about all the development stuff on the back end. You care when I look at it, can I see where I'm going? Do I know what I'm going to do next? And can I get there easily so that this software doesn't waste my time? I did a lot of reading back in the early days of my opening up or my investment business before I started my software company. And somebody that I loved reading about reading was Seth Godin. Seth is a marketing guru, probably one of the leaders in marketing out there. He wrote the very famous book called The Purple Cow, which if you haven't read it, I think it's a key read because it tells you how to differentiate yourself. But he had a book, and I don't remember the name of the book, but the reference was about the monkey and the banana. Okay? When on this page you have a banana and you want the monkey to come get the banana. Okay? Boom. He gets the banana. Next page. There's the banana. Monkey goes the banana. He gets the banana. Boom. Next page. On and on. You take them down. You take your users down a path that's very simple, very basic, and it's like anybody of any intelligence can figure out what to do with your site. When you have that, that is a key driver to making your business and your software application successful. Okay, take it from somebody who's had a lot of failed software applications that I've tried to put in the marketplace and learned a lot of lessons from that. So work on that. Please email me with any questions relative to that. If you can give me some more context to what you're talking about, I think I can help you. You're right in my wheel space, and this is the kind of stuff I do. I could be a very good resource for you. Next question, Roland. Okay, Roland Beneath, I think it is. Okay, Roland. Roland's question is: I am at the point of my life where I am putting in work. I'm seeing results. Yet I constantly get distracted with mostly on social media, friends, people doing things and living their best life. I am fighting with hustle mentality versus you are only in your 20s once. Okay, so what he's saying is I'm fighting where he is in a hustle mentality right now, but he's seeing all these other people out in their 20s, living it up. I used to be very outgoing, center of attention. Yet the previous half a year, I've been building and developing our family business and myself. It feels good, yet I get drained into some depression, and some of the days I'm thinking, is this really who I am? Is this a quarter life crisis? Does anyone else experience this? Sorry if not too business related. Well, first of all, it's a really good question. Second of all, remember, business is only part of our life, okay? In my EO, Entrepreneurs Organization, is what I'm sure a lot of you AOers are striving towards, is to get to the $1 million level and above. And in EO, our forums meet monthly, and we have a 4-hour session of helping each other out. And I'll have to tell you that over 50% of the issues that we discussed in our forum meeting is around personal and family and other issues that are not business oriented. Okay, for example, I just presented last month, or this month in July, at our forum session, second Tuesday of the month. I presented on my mother and her going into an assisted living place. The difficulties of her transition from house to assisted living. That was my topic. And so it wasn't business related, and I was the first key presenter that month. That means my name is up and I get to present that month, and then we have a couple of smaller issues that somebody can present on that may be more timely. But given that situation, I talked about something that's not business oriented. So not asking business questions, or just not all about business. Life's not all about business, and getting help from others is not having to just do with business oriented stuff. So let's see a couple things. What you talked about here is remembering that life is a journey. Your business success is a journey, and to enjoy the journey, and it's not just about the destination. We've all heard that, right? But do we live it? Do we understand where we're coming from in that sense? And it's like I've looked back over my life and I see that I've had these great successes, I've had these big downers, and it's been a roller coaster of a ride as everybody else's is. And in that sense, I've worked and was anxious too much at times to be to getting where I wanted to go, and I didn't live it. I spent my early 20s, like you're talking about. I had a son when I was 22 years old. I was trying to grow my business. I had just gotten a very small startup home, and in the sense, I did not have any real social life. So it ended up that, and as time went on, I had the greatest of opportunities and freedoms now. I have two homes. I have a big house I got a basketball court in my basement. So I sacrificed in the early years to have something better later on, but I don't think it has to be all that. The sacrifices that I did at that time, I didn't have any money when I was young. I was staying home all the time, and it's not what I envisioned as somebody in the 20s. But I want to say that focusing, putting your time and effort into going where you want to go is very, very, very key. But do not worry about, or do not miss out on life. Go out and live some life and be there. Also, don't worry about social media, okay? People are trying to portray themselves as being the utmost, the best, the living the biggest life, and a lot of it is fake. A lot of it is false. A lot of it is like, look at me. But so many people are getting depressed on social media, so it's something to be careful about and try not to compare ourselves to that world, okay? So, let's see, what else? Anything? I think that's all I wanted to say there. So email me if you've got any other questions relative to that. Let's go on to the next question. Okay, so Bell Donovan. Okay, Bell, let's see. Hi, mentors. Our current project is selling magnetic false eyelashes. A lot of feedback we have received is that prospects are not sure which style will suit them. We would love to have some sort of app that accesses their camera and places our range of lashes on them. Any ideas where to start? I have heard stories of people spending hundreds of thousands on apps only for it to still not be finished. So choosing a trustworthy developer is tricky also. Thanks so much in advance. Yeah, that's the key question, and another good one right up my alley. So appreciate your question, Bell. And let me say this. Not only they spend hundreds of thousands of dollars for something that doesn't get finished, but the marketplace doesn't want it. Okay, so, or you come to find out that what your idea is and what you spend all this money and time putting it into marketplace, and nobody buys it. Okay, so it's important to know that your idea is going to have some aspect of market acceptance. And one way to do that is to work on building some type of, using a prototype software, okay? Prototype softwares are great in that you can create a look and feel of what you're trying to accomplish, and you can show people what this is going to do, and you can get an idea if they would find this interesting, and also get an idea of what type of market pricing that you could put out there. So you start out with simple dollars, small dollars of putting money into that, and getting an idea of what the market would look like. You put it out to your friends, tell them you're doing this, ask them if they would buy it. And some of that is going to be good feedback. Some of it is not going to be real. It's not till they presented with the actual opportunity to buy something are you going to know if they're going to buy it or not. So it's not always the way to work. But Figma, Figma, you go to www.figma.com, and check that software out. It's for like designers, but it can be used by lay people to put together their own look and feel and create it. Or you can get with some software people, design people that can maybe help you with that. But starting with that is going to be key. Now, what about choosing to spend? How do you find the right people? Very important question, and it doesn't have all the exact great answers. But a process that you go through here with this is to consider different things. So let me give you some experience. I spent $150,000 when I had my investment firm, and I started a different mutual fund that was the first of its kind. It was called the iFund, where the shareholders would discuss, nominate, and buy stocks, or vote on stocks that would get bought or sold based on the collective intelligence of the group. First one that ever came out, I opened it in 2001, but before I got it open, I had to build a software application back when I didn't know anything about software that would end up leading me into the software space. Ironically, I spent $150,000 with a company that failed on me. And so I know what you're talking about. I've experienced it. I've lived it. I've hurt by it. So something to look for is to looking at history. Okay, look at what they've done. People will show you some things they've done. You can go to their website and you can see projects that they've done usually. And with that, then you want to talk to the people that they actually work with. And not just the people that they give you, but try to find out with the maybe Google searches and stuff, who they've worked with, and call those people without the people knowing, and seeing what you can come up with as far as a key to doing work with these people. I mean, getting the feedback of how they worked with that respective client that you're talking to, and what was the success, and how were they at being timely and communicating, and so on and so forth. That is the best process, I think. And the other is to use a network. Okay, go to your network and reach out and say, I want to build a software project. Who has had a successful experience with a software company? That's a great place to get going. And then from there, to look at what they've done, talk to some of their customers, see the experience they have. And maybe even the experience can tell you that but talking to these people can help you with how you best work with them. Not are they somebody you should or shouldn't work with. It could be somebody to work with because they used them and they helped them and they're still working with them. And with that, they can give you more feedback of like, hey, these guys work this way, and if there's not a way that's going to be, ideal for you, maybe you don't want to work with them, even though they can get the software done. So see how they work, see how they communicate with people, and ask those questions to get a path down to better success. And again, I'm here. That's what I do. I can help with you with more questions. So email me at greg@efficients.us if you have any other questions I can help you with. Okay, Kristen Latus. Kristen says, how many times is too many times to follow up? Okay, I had 2 conversations in the DMs, and one girl booked a call with me, and the other is still making a decision. I followed up 4 times with both, and neither is answering the messages. And I'm adding urgency, saying I only have 2 spots available in July, but still nothing. I really want to work on these projects as they are my ideal clients, and both want big projects done. Okay, a couple things about this. One, I would ask Kristen is to add a little bit more context. Remember, when you're talking to mentors, we don't know your businesses, okay? Some of these questions are written to Sean, who Sean has an idea of your business, can have some more context to understand your question and answer your questions for you. I don't have a lot of context on your business, okay? You say in the business description, you say selling on Facebook Messenger and getting them to show up to their calls. So is that your business, or how you're working with them to try to get these appointments done? So I'm still not clear on that. And I don't know, I had 2 conversations in the DMs. DMs can mean a lot. I could make some guesses to that, but I don't know exactly what you're talking about. District managers, I don't know. So I'm not sure who you're referring to here. Or direct managers or something. Could be a lot of different things. So what I'll say to your to your comment is that following up and getting people is tricky. It's always tricky, and it's nuances, and there's no one answer fits all. So you have to approach things. Some of the things I do on follow up is I try to create urgency by saying, "Hey, I've got limited resources, and I'm trying to plan my resources here. So having ideas is something that you think you're going to be working in the next couple of weeks. If so, I can try to arrange my resources to work with you. If not, then I need to put them on hold. Then if you can't get to me pretty soon, then I've got some other projects coming and may take some time before I can get to you. So let me know what you're thinking so I can try to work and manage my resources. If they're not getting back to you, there's a reason for it. They just don't want your service or at this time or something. So you don't know. You don't know where it's at um, and so forth. Now, the other thing I can say is as some value I can add here is there's a book out that was recommended by my sales coach. My sales coach Lee Saltz wrote a book called Sales Differentiation, and I've paid him many thousands of dollars for consulting work, and have high regard for him, trust him, and so forth. Well, interestingly, he just put out an email either yesterday or this morning or something. I just saw it. And it's a book called Follow Up and Close the Sale, okay, by Jeff Shore. So I would consider this book, if I haven't read it, but if Lee's recommending it, it's a really good book. He puts out very few recommendations, and when they do, they have some meaningfulness to them. So Jeff talks about stay in touch without annoying prospects. Okay, right up your alley. Wake up on tired leads. Craft the perfect follow-up by phone, text, email, note, you name it. Make speed your superpower. Overcome the mental barriers that make follow-up difficult. Create simple follow-up process that is customer-centric and easy to track. Shorten the buying cycle and net more sales. That could be helpful for you on this issue. Okay, next question. Adam Drake. Adam asked, has anyone used Nextdoor specifically for marketing, and are there any nuances or methods to use this particular social media site effectively? We've been getting an okay flow of business from people recommending us. For example, quote, I need a CPA or financial advisor, unquote, is posted, and someone will respond with our company name. One idea we had was to start sending the people that recommend us on Nextdoor handwritten thank you cards and Starbucks cards. Okay, business description. I lead a team of financial advisors. This question is for my team and how they market and get more leads. Okay, excellent question, Adam. And so, one, I will say I have not used Nextdoor, so I can't provide exact context relative to that. I would also check with Paul Schoonover, who is a mentor, and see if you can get him this question because he has a marketing company, and I would assume they'd have some familiarity with Nextdoor and seeing what you're doing. But given I know the generality, it's about making referrals and recommendations to people that are around your neighborhood or in your sphere of space. So I think this is a great idea and a great approach for you. Given what you're saying here, it's your referral is the number one key way to do business because number one, it builds trust. It gives you credibility and trust with your client. And doing so is the first thing that you spend a lot of time trying to establish that. And when you get a referral, that speeds up that process and takes it to another level very quickly. Let's see. Okay, so your approach on using notes and gift cards, I think it's excellent. Starbucks cards are great, and giving that to people to say you appreciate them is going to keep them on mind, keep you in mind with them, and may make them work just a little bit harder to think about you again in the future. So that is just a touch point in a relationship that's very strong and helpful. In fact, there's a whole philosophy around this called giftology, giftology. An EO member out of St. Louis developed this, and he speaks around the country on it. He's one of the highest ranked speakers out there. kind of funny to think that somebody that talks about gifting something could be such a high-rated speaker. He tells amazing stories about how he's used gifting and what he does. I would go to the website and get his blog posts sent to you regularly, talking about gifting ideas. That could add some more thought and perspective to how you gift and give context to what you are trying to do. He talks about giving things like you don't give at Christmas time, you don't give at the normal times, you give unexpectedly. And when you give unexpectedly, it makes people step up and wait to who you are and keeps you in their mind. And also the type of relationships you're talking about. In your world, you're talking about a lot of value and a lot of money come from a relationship that you develop in the financial advisor, accounting space, and so forth. One client can be a 10 or 20-year relationship that creates tens of thousands of dollars of revenue to your firm. And so rewarding people and rewarding your clients for your relationships is key. And I have used giftology to do some of the gifting. I sent out a digital frame, high-end digital frame, where you get a mobile app with it, and you can take from your app, you can upload pictures, and you can do it to your sphere, your whole family. And I love this thing. I have one for myself. And I love going by the frame and seeing the pictures, the new current pictures. It's not just loaded once and you watch it. Years go by and you see the same old pictures. It's uploaded with the new things in your life. And I've gotten feedback from my clients and friends that I've sent it to that have sent me videos saying, hey, I'm just looking at the picture. Thanks so much for sending this. They film it and send it to me. And that keeps it top of mind. They look at that digital frame and they not only feel the warmth of the connections to their pictures, but they remember that you're the one that sent it to them. Also, Cutco knives is a lot of stuff they do, but they have a lot of unique ideas, unique special things that'll keep people that they won't forget you. Okay? They talk a lot about initializing things and with people's names and stuff. So there's a whole philosophy and approach to this, and you can get very serious. And when you do, you can build some very intense relationships. His stories about the relationships he's created using this are like impressive and kind of out of the world thinking. Next question, Erica Wilkinson. Hi, Erica. And Erica's question is, what are your views on having a small business that is going to fund what you really want to do? Business description, I own a cleaning company, but this isn't something I want to do forever. I want to get my real estate license and buy investment properties that my cleaning property management company manages. I want to open real estate offices in large areas, Las Vegas, Nashville, Miami. Sounds like you're working on a good BHAG there, Erica. And so a big, hairy, audacious goal is I want 20 offices in North America by this date. So working to do something like that, you get it going, you create the right thinking and the right energy around it, and you can help attract things into your life that make that happen. So also, I like what you're doing. I think it is appropriate that you take steps on where you can do now to help you get to where you want to go. Okay, my focus right now is building SaaS applications, software as a service. Just like we talked about before in one of the previous questions, having an application online or having on the internet there that somebody goes to and they pay you $50, $100 a month, $200 a month, whatever it may be for your respective service, and you sell that over and over and over again, and you create a lot of recurring revenue. And I'm in the process of launching a couple products, and so I do custom software applications now that helps businesses be better with a mobile app, with e-commerce, with a software as a service application. And I work on those and I do that, okay? That makes me good money. In the process, I use the revenue and profits I get from that to help reinvest into building SaaS applications that the marketplace will want and love and they're willing to put money into. And so I'm with you on what you're thinking. Keep doing what you're doing. Create your BHAG and think about it, work on it, energize it with your thinking, where you're connecting your heart and mind. When you put the both together and you put out a strong vibration, you're going to attract the things to you. If you just think about what you want in life and you have, like, say, a vision board and you just look at that vision board, as people talk about attracting things to you, you have to engage both, though. You have to engage your thinking where you're looking at it. You have to feel it. You have to see it. You have to like smell it. You have to hear it. You have to create that idea around it before you really put off the right vibe at the right level that's going to attract things to you. Everything is waves in this world, okay? Sound waves, radio waves, microwaves, all things in life start as a wave before they're created as a particle, which created materiality to them, okay? You can create what you want in the world by putting out and connecting the right vibration of what you want to attract to you. If you ever seen two pianos in a room and you go to one piano and you hit the C note on that piano, you walk over to the other piano, the C note on that other piano without touching it will be vibrating, okay? Because it's vibrating in sync. What was put out there in the world is done in on the other side. And this even happens when you're not in a approximate location. It can be far off. A lot of understanding goes into that, so let's not worry about that. Let's just know that when you put out a vibration to the world that you're energizing and thinking about and working towards, you will attract things into your life that will help you get there. It's huge to manifest the world that you want to live in. And everybody on here listening, this is what you want to be doing to get to the direction in life that you want to go. Okay, I can talk more about that in the future, but for now, Erica, keep doing what you're doing, keep dreaming, but put those dreams down on paper and make them a reality. Okay, that's what they say. The difference between a dream and a goal is writing it down, manifesting it, thinking about it. Okay, next question here is Alexander Haig. Okay, Alexander, your question is, hi, mentors. I had a Skype call with AkaShawnThomas about a month ago on what I thought would be how to approach my business as a personal trainer coming back after the coronavirus. He asked me an important question. Should you even be offering a product in a hugely saturated field where anyone can basically get it for free online? And as he reminds me, there is no right or wrong answer to the question. Very good question to ask, and exactly right. There's no right or wrong answer. So, Sean is opening up a thought process for you that's very good. So, as he continues on his question, so I've been thinking about this over and over, and come to the conclusion that being an entrepreneur doesn't mean doing something that involves your personal hobby or lifestyle. Now I have to start all over, and having such a hard time. And I'm having such a hard time figuring out how to move on from here. As I look out for opportunities, keep up, and I keep up with the AO content, read books and materials on business. Is there anything more you would recommend me doing on getting back or starting my own business? Business description. I left the saturated market of a personal trainer, working a 9-to-5 job as a sales manager. I must be an entrepreneur that I know, and the thing that made me jump into personal training was the mindset of this. This is what I love to do. As of course, I should do that. Should I do that for a living? Naive as I am, I keep going, get a personal training diploma, and start my company, not considering how many people actually offer what I do for free online. Okay, he goes on for some other things here, but basically, to answer this question is, I would say this. Okay, so personal training. You do personal training. There are a lot of other people out there. There are a lot of free things out there in the world. You can. Doesn't mean that you can't do this, though. You said you're passionate about it. That is huge aspect of moving something forward. If you don't have passion in what you're doing, even if it's a business that you're not passionate about, but you're passionate about business, you can drive things forward. You have to be passionate in a realm of the area that you are, because you know why? It's just too damn difficult. Okay? Business is difficult. It's not for everybody. And if you don't have passion to drive you, you're not going to get through the tough times. Okay? You need to have the ability to fight and to keep fighting, even when it looks like you're beat up really bad. And I've been beat up really bad. I keep going. And I've had many successes, and I've had quite a few failures. So in that, I have a lot more failures than I had successes. So the failures teach you lots of lessons to help you get to the next level of success. And here you're learning one level of that. So let me say this. Think about it this way. If you are passionate about training and personal training and helping people, what is it that you do differently than anybody else does or anybody out there? Where can you niche this down and provide a context to something you're doing where it's different, it's better, it's faster, it's time saving? What is it that you're doing that's going to help your clients create some notice, because you're going to help them? You're going to either motivate them. Okay, I have a personal trainer. And it's something I haven't done all my life. I felt like I don't need to spend money for a personal trainer. I know what I'm doing. I can go do it. Well, you know what? It got to where I pushed myself for so long, so many years, that it's like, maybe I need to try a trainer. And because I wasn't getting results, I wasn't going where I wanted to go, and I just didn't have the energy anymore to motivate myself. I motivate myself in my business life, my personal life, but here come working out, I just ran out of energy. The personal trainer got it done for me and is creating results and making my life better in so many ways. And I love it. I don't have to think about it. I go in there and it's like, all I got to worry about is I got to get through this workout. And I get there, I get it done. Okay. So they provide value, and I'm paying for that value, and I love paying for my trainer. So I got another workout that I do. It's a DVD that I do at home, doing my big area, that basement area that I have. And it's a 20-minute workout. Okay, it gives you a combination of cardio and weights. You just do weights and you do your workout, you do your lunges and your curls and your whatever, and it's about speed and a combination of strength and cardio. And so I bought it. I paid $40-50 for this DVD set, and that aspect motivated me to buy because it gave me a particular result I was looking for. What is the result that you can provide people to the world that's going to help you, going to help them, and you create value for them, they will create value for you. Okay, remember, business is all about transaction of value. It's not about money. Okay, money is just a means of creating the interaction, that transaction. This is about creating value for somebody. And if you can provide something of value, people will pay you. What is it? What is that? Not only are you providing the value, you have to market it appropriately and share that message of value that you're creating. So think about this. Stu McLaren, he's the guru in the membership space. Okay, check out Stu. Think about maybe a membership site. Okay, and if this is a big if now, if you have something of value you can offer the world, then maybe you can look at a membership site. Membership where you charge people $5-10 a month, and they come to your site and they get to see like something that you offer them. Is it a live training? Is it other organizations? Is it workouts? Is it speed? Is it motivation? What is it that you can provide them? And then you can learn how to get that out there in the world and get people to sign up for it if you can provide that value. So that's a key. So Sean asked an important question here for you. Now, in answering that for yourself is, can you feel that you provide something of value? And then ask some people around, hey, if I could give you this and this, would that be something you're interested in? Okay, you get those answers and work with that, and then see what you and see where that can take you. Okay, so let me see. I thought I wanted to add some other thoughts on that. Let's see. So think about think about a teacher. Okay, teacher goes to work and gets in a classroom and teaches kids. And a teacher wants to be more successful. They can make anywhere from, depending on where they live, $35,000-40,000 up to $80,000 a year. And it's like, well, it may be decent income, but it's not going to give a big income to have a better life. So what can a teacher do? Okay, they can moonlight. They can, they got to put more time. They get paid for their time. Well, to get real scalability, one teacher created lessons for other teachers to help them save time in the classroom. And the teacher put it out there in a membership site, and she sold tens of thousands of different memberships from it. Okay, another minister It's like one of the things that ministers had every Sunday was to figure out what they were going to preach and talk to their congregation about. A minister put together a program where he helped create that. He was very good at that part of it, and he created a program where he shared that and shared with other ministers and ramped up a site, making all kinds of money. So what is it that you can offer the world that you can maybe put in a membership or an online or something that would create your world? Maybe you're not even selling it, it's offering for free, and you can start selling ads on your site because you built a big following. So there's different ways to look at it here, different things to think about, and opportunities for you. So let's see. Okay, one more question. Hi, Sean. Is it reasonable? This is from Roselli Akaloke, I think you say it. Hi, Sean. Is it reasonable deciding not to work with a prospect based on gut instincts? If so, what is the best way to decline their business? Description: accounting firm, spent the last 3 days dealing with prospect that made remarks undermining my value. Yes, absolutely. In my opinion, especially if you own the firm. If you don't, there's some considerations around that. But if you own the firm, it's your business. If you have gut instincts that say stay away from somebody, I would do that politely, respectfully, as much as possible. Don't burn any bridges. Don't give this person a reason to give you a bad name out there in the world or bad talk you, but figure out how. We're too busy right now. We can't take you. Really sorry about that if they're making you uncomfortable, because people are the two things for you. People are your gift of providing talent and resource to you, and they are also, on the other spectrum, your chaos in life, okay? And if you have wrong people, whether it's clients or whether it's your employees working with you, it's going to cause you so much stress, difficulty, complications in life, and so making sure you're around the right people is very, very important. So I would make sure that they aligned with core values are very important for business. Look up Jim Collins' site and explore how he creates core values. And he has a template in there and some work that you can go find. And within that core values, you're able to, when you have your core values, you make sure the people that are working for you and the people that you're working with as clients are aligned with your core values. There's a lot of detail to go in, a lot more to go into that, but I would work towards creating your core values and working with people that are aligned. So with that, I'm going to end this mentoring session now, and good to be with everybody. Look forward to next time and your questions, and I'm here for to help in any way if you want to reach out. Thanks.